Hi all! In today's video, I'll be making a keycap model of Urf Dowsie from League of Legends, or TFT, or something. This is mainly for my brother who's a big League nerd and plays like every day. You know who you are. So like most of my projects, I'm going to start out with a basic sketch to get a feel for the piece before I actually make it. I'm making a sketch of the front view and one of the side views just to help me visualize how the finished piece will look as like a 3D model once I'm done. This is going to be a two-part video because I'll be busy this week and I only have time to do the first part, which is going to be making the model and casting it in silicone. In the next video, I'll be pouring the resin and seeing how it turns out. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe for my video next Thursday. For the model, I'll be using this polymer clay that I got from Michaels. If you're not in North America, Michaels is just your typical overpriced arts and crafts store, but really any polymer oven-baked clay will do. I got this box a lot of years ago and I'm surprised it's still really good. All I had to do was warm it up in between my fingers. It's a little dry and crumbly, but as you can see, it becomes really soft and workable if you just knead it in your fingers for a couple seconds. So I'll just skip forward because I don't think anyone's interested in watching me knead polymer clay. The box says this clay might damage surfaces, so I'm just going to work on a little piece of paper. But the good thing about it is that I can trace out how big my keycap is supposed to be. It doesn't turn out this small. It's a lot bigger in the end. I figured since Urf Dowsie has two basic colors, the bluish green of his seal face and the white on the lion? I'm not sure what's on his head. But since he has two distinct colors, I'll be separating my mold so I can cast each of the colors in resin so it doesn't mix. So here I'm just making his head. This little ball thing will be his face, and I'll just shape it into like a squoval with my fingers. And once that's done, I'm gonna carve out his little mouth. While making this, I'm thinking of how I'm gonna be coloring everything. So you kind of have to be thinking in reverse. I figured I would just cast his blue head first and then put in the mouth afterwards once it's out of the mold. The little ovals I'm making are going to be his booper snooper, aka his snout or nose or whatever it's called on seals. I don't know seal anatomy. Is Urf Dowsie even a seal? He looks like a seal. Plus they called him Urf. Why would they call him Urf if he's not a seal? Urf, 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 Urf. Now here you can watch me struggle as I try to attach the booper snooper on. And now I'll make his tiny nose. It's so tiny and so cute. Oh, and you can also watch me struggle to put this on too. He's so tiny, I'm having trouble working with him, but it's okay, that's why I have tools. Speaking of which, I'm using this dotting tool, mainly the fine point, and also some nail tools. Nail tools are so handy when working with tiny stuff. Now I'm gonna separate equal parts of this clump to make his eyes, which are more oval than circle. And smooth the edges down with my tools. Now we're making his super tiny eyebrows. And once the eyebrows are in place, his face is pretty much done. All I have to do is add his tiny teeth. Oh, he's so tiny! His tiny teeth, which I'm gonna do at the end because I'm probably gonna knock them off or something if I keep working on him. So now I'll be making the lion thing. Somebody tell me what this is because I honestly have no idea. Is this a lion? A tiger? A dragon? Anyways, I don't know why I was so nervous working on the next part. I tried making it once and then I squished everything. I restarted. So let me just skip ahead to the part that I actually use. So here I'm making his eyebrows. I'm just gonna call it a tiger. I'm making the tiger's eyebrows. So this is the main part of his eyebrow, and then I'm just gonna make extra clumps of hair to mimic the cartoon. Now I'm making the part that I should have made a while ago that would probably have scaled down how big this keycap would be. which is the bulk of the tiger hat. I'm making a dome shape for the lion, tiger, dragon hat. And now with this, it's easier to place things and see how they are for size. Here I'm making the tiger, lion, dragon paws that you see hanging down on the sides of his head. So to make these, I'm just making a teardrop shape with the tear part being the biggest and then like flattening it a little. And then with my X-Acto knife, I'm just gonna go in and cut him some fingers. And using the tool, I'll make them rounder so they look more like cute paws than squares. Now everything else here on out, I'm gonna attach to his cap and not to his actual face because I need to separate that after. He looks like an acorn! Ah! At this point, I don't even know what this is. I don't think seals have ears. Oh, is this the lion, tiger, dragon's ears? Anyways, I'm making the big ones. They'll go on top of the hanging paws. They kind of remind me of those big floppy bunny ears. You know which ones I'm talking about? Here, I'll show you a picture. Now I'm making little flat circles to represent the machine gun that's on top of his head. Is it a machine gun? I don't know what anything is on Urf Dowsie. Some of the pictures have fire on it, some of the pictures are just a circle, so I'll just make the circle because it's easier. Cylinder. I'll just make the cylinder because it's easier. Now I'm going to attach the eyebrows I made earlier. Remember earlier how I said I squished what I was working on and restarted? Here's me redoing the lion, tiger, dragon snout. The teardrop shapes that I'm making now are going to be his mustache. The lion, tiger, dragon's mustache. And I'll add the eyes on last. And similar to the eyebrows, I made the main teardrop part and then added the little extra stray hairs that you see in the picture as well. Now all that's left is to add the eyes of the dragon, lion, tiger thing and Urf's tiny teeth. I don't know how I'm gonna add his whiskers, so I think I'll just pretend I never saw it. What whiskers? He doesn't have whiskers. For the eyes, I'm just using the biggest size dotting tool I have and making an indent so the eyes have a place to sit. Now I'll go over everything again and smooth out all the tiny indents and imperfections as best as I can.
And now it's time to add the tiny teeth.
Ta-da! He's done. Urf Downie Jr. Urf Dowsie is done. I'm gonna pop him in the oven for 15 minutes for the lion, tiger, dragon thing and 30 minutes for Urf's face. Here he is, all nice and toasty looking. I think I baked his head a little too long. But it's good, it's good. The color won't matter once I cast the resin. What does matter though is how the headpiece moved a little while I was baking, so now it doesn't fit as perfectly. But that's okay because I'm just going to use my nail file to sand down all the areas of Urf's head that collide with his headpiece. Now that everything fits well, it's time to cast it in silicone. So I have these little rice pudding cups that I use to mix resin sometimes, but I bought some silicone ones so I don't really use these anymore. So I just cut off the bottom of one of them to create a wall where I can cast the silicone in. For the bottom, I just rolled out a flat piece of plasticine that I could squish the mold into so there are no gaps in the bottom, because when I flip it over, that will become the top, and that's where I'm going to put the cross section for the keycap. Here's me mixing equal parts silicone part A and silicone part B, and I'm just going to mix that for 5 minutes before I pour it into the cast. And now that my 5 minutes are up, I'm going to pour a thin stream of silicone into one of the corners to ensure that all the bubbles get filled up on itself. Now I'll just let it cure in the fridge overnight and I'll see you when it's done.